and don't really like the way, I mean, even with one bolt in, right, it's laying, the header's laying on that A-arm. All right, folks, we're at the back of this 406 and we're trying to line up the scatter shield, and boy, it's been a morning. Anyway, I think I got it and had a phone a friend help once again from my buddy George Burns. One of the tips he said was put a light inside the bell housing. So I got this little magnetic light. It was a Christmas gift from the kids. Anyway, put this in there. It's got a magnet on one end, so that makes it pretty handy. It'll stay in there. And that way, when you push the sleeve from the browel tool in, you can see, I don't know how easy it is to see on the camera now, but you can push this in and you can see which way you need to go. And so with the stock pins in there and the bell housing tight, you put a feeler gauge around the edge. Anyway, I got an 010, not sure if you can read that, feeler gauge. And I had this in here with the stock pins, and you could clearly see a lot of light around this edge, and you could kind of get an idea of how to clock this thing, and so, or which way it needed to go. And so I went ahead and marked the bell housing, and then the other key thing that I had wrong was to mark the pins. And George said, put the pin on a flat surface, put a light behind it, and roll it, and you'll be able to see where 12 o'clock is on those pins. These are 0.007 Lakewood pins, and I was able to mark those, reinstall, get the stock pins out, reinstall these new pins, clock them to the way this thing needed to move. And as it stands now, the bell housing is tight. It takes a little bit of persuasion, but I can get that sleeve in there. And so it's hard to tell, but it's in the hole right now. And so I think I'm good, and I'm going with this, and it is a minor victory. So on to the next thing. We're gonna go ahead and get the McLeod clutch installed. So got some detailed instructions from McLeod. Thanks for sending those over, and I'll get that installed and hopefully get the bell housing on it with the clutch in it. And then, the next step is put the motor in the car. All right, well, the clutch is installed. I followed the instructions. There's a 20 to 25 thousandths gap that you want between the floater and the flywheel. Put the right number of shims in there to get that. It seemed like it was probably around 23 thousandths, so that's within spec. Got everything torqued down, pressure plate and everything torqued down, and there's shims as well on these spacers behind the pressure plate. And so I used what I had for that, so 2 shims per, and that I think was correct all along. It was the floater to the flywheel shims that I was questioning, and so got that sorted out, and it should be good to go. Now I need to find the clutch fork. I thought I had one. I am not finding it, so that is the current delay. But Well, we share the good and the bad here on this channel. Having a heck of a time getting this engine in place. All right. I was starting to talk about the challenges here, and the battery, the GoPro battery died. Anyway, make sure you buy real GoPro batteries, folks. The off-brand ones fail. Anyway, yeah, so having a heck of a time with this thing, getting the motor mounts where they need to be, and lo and behold, we still have the header clearance issue. I bought these spacers and I put them in there, and I think probably already talked about them on another video, but bought this spacer kit from Moroso and put the big ones, and I think that's the medium size ones in there. And they're on both sides, and at different times I've had each bolt in, but I've never had both bolts in. And so, don't really like the way, I mean, even with one bolt in, right, it's laying, the header's laying on that A-arm. And so, yeah, not sure what my next move is. I might actually go ahead and get different motor mounts. There is another style, I think it's for the big block. I'm not sure how that's going to work with those the frame mounts, but I might have to do that. And of course, getting the driver's side header in, I started to try to do that. I'm glad I didn't try to get it all the way in there, because this thing's coming back out anyway, right? There's going to have to be something different with the motor mounts, and or we may need to dent that header. And so kind of been against doing that. I know it's not a big performance hit or anything, but these headers are just so nice. I don't want to hammer on them. So yeah, and I mean, even if I were to, actually talking to George, he was asking or suggesting that I just take a little bit of meat off the A-arm and touch up the paint, which I could do. But the other, it's kind of hard to see probably, that bushing there is it's gonna melt if I don't give it some more clearance. And so that is the challenge. It's currently Sunday night, and I really wanted to try to get this thing in the car with the transmission, and that's not happening. Here's the transmission. Anyway, and so I did get the clutch on there. I got the bell housing clocked, and so as you saw, and that was a little victory. So happy that's done, and gonna just keep plugging away on this thing. We need to get this motor in place and start bolting stuff on around it. I did order a fuel pump today, so that should show up this week, and to be able to get the fuel pump on there, finish up the plumbing from the tank. And I do have a carburetor rebuild kit, so I'll get that rebuilt, and I need to buy a piece of fuel line and some fittings to get from the mechanical pump up to the carburetor. But not going to get ahead of myself. I got to get the thing bolted into frame rails first. That's what's happening tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody.